We are back discussing the month of August and what to expect in the month of September. Standard Investment Bank usually publishes a monthly report that details some of the activities and highlights that were happening on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Taking us through this report is Martin Kiremi, who is a senior analyst at SIB. Welcome back. I know we stopped the conversation at Bamburi, but hold on to that thought. Before you go there, I want us to come back to it at the tail end of this conversation. Perhaps you can take us through what was happening in terms of top gainers and top losers for the month of August.
Okay, for the top gainers list, top of the lot was Nation Media Group.
Okay.
I think NMG is up 27% month on month.
And it came from a low of what to a high of?
It was even sub 30. There's a sub 10 shillings.
Oh, okay, all the way 10.
Yeah,
all
the way
in the month
10,
of August?
In the month of August.
Wow.
And then climbed to the way to 27, up 27% to 1340. And I think it has already, the momentum has already built up to now the month of September.
I think it's at about 19 and a half. So if you were at 10, you've literally doubled your money to the 20 shilling.
Exactly.
Okay.
But I think I always have a view, the faster it goes up, the faster
it comes down. So exit at 20 sell.
If you've done a 20% return, I always say just
that's
exit.
Already that's a double. That's 100%
exactly.
return.
Just
wow.
exit. Exactly.
Okay.
However, in fairness, I think it really took a nosedive pretty fast. If you remember, Ali, it's already down 66% year to date. That shows you how bad it actually took a dive since the beginning of the year. So it still has a long way to claw back to. So
it depends. If you're holding it for a long term, if you're holding Nation Media for the long term, perhaps you're not there. But if you took a speculative position at 10, then at 20 you want to lock in your, because you've doubled you have doubled your money, so lock in. Okay. And so what you're effectively saying, Martin, is at 20, then there's the upside is actually more or less limited or muted.
It's a technical question. That's more of a technical analysis. When I look at their fundamentals, from a technical analysis point, I think I'll be keeping a close eye on how the supply and demand is every single day.
Oh, wow.
Especially once I've already hit my over 30-40% markup on my capital. From there, it's purely every day I need to be checking the supply and
What's
demand.
What's happening?
If there's more demand, okay, just keep on holding it. Holding it. The day you see that demand and supply, it's flipping. Now just exit.
Okay. All right.
So, but from a fundamental perspective, I think we've ever had these discussions with you.
The media industry it's a tough call.
It's a tough call. Very tough call. I think the rest are mostly small caps, aside from Corp and Equity Bank.
All right.
I think we talked about Corp last time. I think mostly Corp up 13%, mostly local investors. Equity Bank, foreigners buying in after the earnings call.
Okay.
So, and APSA also 10%. I think it was all about operating profit in my view.
Okay.
There are robust operating profits.
It's just the bottom line was negative because of loan loss provisions.
No, not only loan loss provisions, but APSA was as a result of the separation cost from the divorce with Barclays.
Barclays.
From
Barclays to APSA.
Exactly.
And some of these costs were actually expected.
Transition, yes. So they were expected. I think the question was, how big will they be? They've said they're done. I hope now that's it. We will be done seeing that transition cost, because they had to do their transition by 30th of June 2020. So I'm hoping now we are not seeing any more of that from Q3 going forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
For this particular one, Martin, I think it has been the top trade today. Before we came in, it had hit a high of 9.9. From your report, what low did it come from in the month of August?
It hits up. It played. The beauty about Upset has never traded less than 890. 880.
So that's where it was at.
Because it's just up 10%.
All right. So is there some upside from 9.9?
I don't think so. For now, I don't think so.
Okay.
For now, I don't see much upside for now.
Okay.
management has been, it's not as previously where management was very out there with the investment community by holding investor briefing, analyst briefing.
Yes.
They've really pulled back on that since last year, since full year 18 numbers. They've really completely pulled back.
Okay.
So they're pretty opaque at the moment. So we're not having that clear view of what exactly is happening in the lender, which space are they looking into, and things of that sort.
Okay.
However, from when you did the capital stress test analysis, it was number one in terms of how robust it is in terms of provisioning and exposure to its capital. Very robust. Secondly, when you look at their loan loss reserve, it's the only lender which has a nil. That shows you how conservative they are with regards to provisioning for their bad debts. And I think that is one thing that is will be a darling to investors.
Okay. So it's more of a long-term play.
It's definitely a long-term play, because I think they are decoupling with Barclays. To me, I think it's a positive. It's a positive.
Oh,
absolutely
fantastic.
positive.
Okay,
yes,
so
yes.
that's another interesting one we've picked out.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we go to the top losers, I think our graphics team has that data that they can help put it up. We're looking at the top 10 losers. What was happening there? Were there any surprise movers there?
Scan Group was tough on the chart.
Scan Group, I've had Scan Group so many times over the last 2 weeks. Please, what was happening there?
It was a rough month for the investors. Down 45%, almost 46%. I think
this was coming from a high of what, 11?
Remember 20... when they announced the special dividend, the stock went all the way up to, there's a time it touched 24 shillings.
Yes, it did.
Okay. After that, now it took the nosedive. After the closure of the special dividend, because the special dividend was 8 shillings, so it took a pretty nosedive after that. I think it was all about how investors looking at how the company is positioned fundamentally wise. Okay, so most companies I think will pull back in advertising due to the obvious reasons we are currently at the moment. So basically took a beating from that perspective. However, this month we've already started seeing now rebounding. It's already, I think last week it was up in double digits. This week, yesterday, still up marginally. However, the last, basically the month, it just started positively this month. All
right. So I think it's, when I was coming in, it was probably at 8.5, 9. It's trading at that level. Do you think there could be a bit more upside? Do you think it gets to 9, 11 where it was once the special dividend was announced? Or?
I think so. I think it will. The beauty about Scan Group, it always has this corporate, there's always like a corporate action.
Waiting. Actually, I've just seen that they've announced the AGM, but there's nothing special about their AGM.
There's nothing special about the AGM. Yeah.
All right.
But remember last year, there's a time I came here to the show and then I said people should buy Scan Group
for the longest.
Exactly.
Yes, that you did.
And there is.
You must leave us with a few anyway. So Scan Group. Let's put a bit of a pin there. Is there anything else in terms of the top losers that sort of stood out for you?
I think Bamburi have talked about it, which was down 22%. Aside from that, it's only Stanbic that is not that big. That is a large cap that traded, that closed the month down 10%.
Okay, interesting.
And I think it's purely because Scan Group, Stanbic was a darling for me for quite a long time.
Is it still? We've actually said it was one of the top losers yesterday.
Yeah, unfortunately not. I think they're trying this hybrid business model of both corporate and retail, and currently it's not clicking. It's clearly not clicking.
All right. I think we're almost coming to the tail end in terms of time. Maybe you can just very briefly tell us if there's anything spectacular on the inflows and outflows, because I want us to spend a minute or two. We have about 5 minutes before we wrap up, just to go through then what next for the month of September and maybe some of the opportunities, because now we have learned to pay attention when Martin speaks.
I'm not a fortune teller. Unfortunately, you can get them right or wrong. From the inflow perspective, Safaricom, I think led inflows. it's the anyway.
Any surprise inflows there?
Any surprise inflow? None.
Okay.
I think
just the
mostly
usual
banks.
All right.
Just the usual. Outflows KCB. That was. I think we actually had a talk with you on this some time back.
That was last week.
We noticed that locals are actually getting into KCB vis-a-vis foreigners, which is a bit perplexing still, because KCB is still trading at multiples that it should be almost at par that with Equity Bank, yet
maybe it could be the National Bank acquisition, so maybe the question marks there.
Yeah, because now they are, because the integration is going to take longer than they actually foresaw.
All right.
They have actually put it on hold because of all this Corona environment.
I know everybody just blames everything on Corona.
Everybody,
even me. If the next time any Corona,
yeah, Corona is the.
So if you guys have a problem with markets today, it's not us. It's COVID-19. Anyway, any surprise outflows?
None. I think purely because it can hit any time of the month. Mostly it was banks anyway. Bank stocks were what were leading.
Okay.
And
so no surprises there.
Yeah,
okay.
And Centum.
All right.
Centum, I think.
Centum.
Yeah.
Centum. There's a story. There's a public story that they're selling out some of their assets to be able to pay back.
The notes. I think that story was a bit was not captured correctly.
Okay.
Because the idea about the real estate portfolio is still to sell the houses.
Okay, so
it has nothing to do with the fact that it's part of the business model.
It's part of the business
model. We can
model.
talk about Centum
another day.
Very great detail. Yes.
All right. So now, when it comes to
opportunities,
September, what next? Because when you say the worst performer in the month of August, Scan Group, it's already one of the best performers in this month. Nation Media is still up there. Are there opportunities that you're saying that we should probably be keep tabs on for the month of September?
For now, I'll say if you notice counters like Equity Bank trading at sub 33, please get into them.
All right.
I'm not too sure. I'll see it at sub 33, but in case it trades
comes there,
sub 33, do not expect any dividend this financial year. I don't think any bank investor should be expecting a div. The thing that, and EABL, the reason why investors who are keen on EABL when it was in your 50s, right now it's already 174.
Yes.
It's simply because the way we're slowly trickling back, it's only a matter of time.
Before it picks up again.
And now we are back to bars are opening and brick and mortar are opening. And
all right, so it probably doesn't go back to 150, 139. It remains at 170.
I don't. Yeah, exactly. I don't.
So if it's a long-term play that you're looking at, then make that decision and get in
as well.
And I always say, if you take alcohol, if you take any EABL product, frankly, you haven't drunk for the last 6 months. That money, and I can see you smiling. Perhaps you should be one of the people executing.
You haven't drunk for the last 6 months?
No, your consumption of alcohol hasn't been as much. So some of that should actually go to investing in EABL.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Fantastic. Any other thing that stands out for you?
I think investors should take a keen eye on bank stocks. Sub 33, I already said that about Equity Bank, KCB as well, sub 35, and Scan Group. I'll still think Scan Group will always have a rabbit to pull out of the hat with regards to a corporate action. And with things returning to normalcy, it's only a matter of time, and then they will start racking in those revenues from companies going back full throttle on advertising. Yes.
And you said Bamburi, you just keep tabs on what's happening.
Bamburi, exactly, keep tabs, but it's a long-term play.
It's a very long-term
play. And you play long-term, 2-3 years, you read big, I think.
Can you read? Penny stocks, KPLC? Can you read?
Can you read?
CIC?
I don't look into insurance companies that much. However, I'm kind of a fan of Kenya Re because they have that guaranteed premium from their insurance business. The question is how many people are taking up insurance in this pandemic. But in terms of playing long term, of the three that you've mentioned, Kenya Re, yes.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much for your time. That's all the time that we had today. We hope to see you again, same time tomorrow. Good day.